When the mind becomes quiet, even for a moment, something ancient and alive begins to stir within you. That is your soul. It has been waiting beneath the surface of your thoughts, untouched by time, untouched by doubt. You can hear it in the silence between your breaths, in the space before sleep, in the calm after tears. To listen to it is to return home, not to a place, but to yourself. In this talk, I will show you how to listen to the voice of your soul, not as an idea, but as a living reality. You will learn to recognize the difference between the noise of your mind and the song of your being. You will discover why silence is not emptiness, but fullness, and how to awaken your inner hearing so that guidance, peace, and clarity flow to you without effort. Once you learn to listen to your soul, you will no longer need to ask the world for direction, because your path will arise naturally from within. You have been taught to look outward for answers, books, teachers, opinions, even gods outside of you. And yet, the voice that knows exactly what you need has always been inside. The problem is not that life is silent, it's that your mind is too loud. You fill it with plans, fears, conversations that never end. And in all this noise, the soul's whisper is lost, but is still there, waiting like a flame that never dies. I have seen thousands of people come to me seeking clarity, asking me to show them truth. And I tell them, stop seeking, start listening. The divine does not shout, it waits. And when you learn to listen, even your confusion becomes a teacher. And so in this time together, I will take you into the forgotten art of listening to your own soul. We will explore why you lost connection with it, how the mind's constant noise blinds you to its message, and how silence, awareness, and presence reopen the channel of communication. You will learn to hear the subtle language of your inner being, how it speaks through intuition, through emotion, through sudden clarity that comes when the mind steps aside. And as we go deeper, you will begin to realize something extraordinary. Your soul is not separate from existence itself. To hear your soul is to hear the voice of the whole. Listen closely, and by the end, you will not just hear your soul, you will live from it. Most people think their soul is silent. They say, I can't hear it. Or, if my soul is speaking, why can't I understand it? But here's what most people completely miss. The soul has never gone silent. It's the mind that has become too loud. The mind has filled the house with constant noise, endless thoughts, judgments, plans, opinions, and fears, so that even when the soul tries to whisper, its voice is lost beneath the chaos. And you've lived with that noise for so long, you've begun to mistake it for yourself. You think the noise is you, and the silence feels strange, even threatening, because silence exposes everything the noise was hiding. The modern mind has forgotten how to rest. You live surrounded by noise, and within noise, televisions, notifications, voices, opinions, so much stimulation that silence feels unnatural. You've been conditioned to fill every gap, every pause, every quiet moment with something. But silence is the home of the soul. You can't hear the depth of the ocean while standing in a storm. The surface must become calm for the reflection to appear. The same is true for you. The soul speaks only when you are still enough to receive. This is why people run from silence. They fill their days with distractions and their nights with more noise, music, screens, conversations, because they're afraid of what they might hear if everything stopped. In silence, the mind loses control, and the mind fears that moment, because when the noise fades, truth begins to rise. And truth doesn't always comfort, it awakens. The ego trembles before silence because silence doesn't lie. It reveals. That's why silence feels heavy to most people. It's not the silence that's heavy, it's what it's showing you. You may think your thoughts are helping you understand life, but in truth, they are like waves on a lake. The constant movement keeps the surface disturbed, and the moon's reflection cannot appear. You keep searching for the reflection of peace, love, and clarity, but the mind keeps stirring the waters. The soul has been shining all along. It's the turbulence that hides it. When the lake becomes still, the moon appears by itself. You don't have to call it, you don't have to beg for it, you don't have to do anything. Stillness itself is the invitation. When you begin to understand this, something subtle changes in you. You stop trying to find your soul as if it's lost somewhere out there. And instead, you begin to quiet what's in the way. The secret is not to seek, but to soften. You cannot hear a whisper while shouting. You cannot sense truth while demanding it. And you cannot feel the divine presence while you are drowning in your own noise. Listening begins with relaxing. That's the first door. The letting go of effort, of trying to hear, of forcing silence. The silence of the soul is not something you make, it's something you uncover when the mind stops interfering. Let me ask you, have you ever sat alone and heard something beyond sound? A kind of vibration, a presence that feels alive even when nothing is happening. That's not imagination, that's awareness. It's the same awareness that exists when music stops and yet something remains. In that presence, there's no question, no answer, no struggle, only knowing. That's the space where the soul speaks. So start here. Slow down. You don't have to stop your thoughts. You only need to stop chasing them. Sit quietly and just watch. Watch the thoughts come and go like clouds. Don't follow them. Don't resist them. Don't even judge them. Just stay. Slowly, the clouds begin to thin and light starts to appear. That light is the voice you've been missing, not a voice of words, but of pure being. Once you begin to taste this silence, something remarkable happens. You'll notice that it isn't empty, it's full of meaning, full of presence, full of peace. The silence isn't the absence of something, it's the presence of everything. And the more you rest in it, the clearer the whisper of your soul becomes. At first, it may feel distant, like an echo from far away, but soon it becomes familiar, intimate, your constant companion. And when you reach that stillness, when the mind begins to quiet, a new kind of hearing opens. It's not through your ears, not through your intellect, it's through awareness itself. You don't listen to the soul, you listen as the soul. That is true listening. That is the beginning of awakening. Once the surface becomes quiet, a new dimension of hearing begins, not with your ears, but with your awareness. And this is where true listening starts. When the noise begins to fade, even for a moment, you start to sense something ancient and delicate stirring beneath it. It is not a sound, not a thought, it is a feeling, a vibration, a knowing that cannot be explained in words. That is the beginning of hearing your soul. What I'm about to share may sound strange to the mind, because the mind only understands language built from words, logic, and structure. But the soul doesn't speak like that. It doesn't use sentences. It speaks through silence, through symbols, through sensations that arise in your being and ask to be felt rather than understood. The mind speaks in arguments. The soul speaks in resonance. The mind seeks to convince. The soul simply shows. Every intuitive pull you have ever felt, every quiet nudge, every moment of knowing something without knowing how you know it, that is the soul's language. It may appear as a gentle warmth in your chest, as a quiet whisper that says wait when you are rushing, or as a subtle unease that tells you something is wrong even when everything looks fine on the surface. The problem is not that the soul is quiet, it's that you have stopped trusting its softness. You've learned to trust only noise. You listen to reason, to opinions, to logic, to others, but the soul does not shout to be heard. It waits for you to become still enough to remember its language. You were born fluent in this language. Every child is. A child feels what is true before it is told what is correct. A child senses the vibration of a person's heart before hearing their words. A child follows what feels alive and turns away from what feels dead. That sensitivity, that purity is how the soul speaks. But then came fear, imitation, and conditioning. You were told to be sensible, to be practical, to be like others. Slowly, you stopped listening to that inner knowing. You began to live from the outside in. You learned to translate your feelings into logic, your intuition into analysis, your soul into strategy. The living voice within became buried under layers of noise that the world calls knowledge. Yet even beneath all that, the soul has never fallen silent. It keeps finding ways to reach you. It speaks through your dreams, where logic no longer dominates. It speaks through coincidences that seem too meaningful to ignore, a book that arrives at the right time, a stranger's words that echo your unspoken thought, a sudden wave of peace that comes for no reason at all. The mind dismisses these as accidents, but the soul smiles because it knows there are no accidents in existence, only messages that the inattentive miss. If you begin to live with awareness, you'll start seeing that life itself is constantly communicating with you. The whole universe is a conversation, and the language is energy. The ego, of course, interrupts this communication. It's like static on a radio. It fills every frequency with its own noise, insisting that you cannot trust what you feel unless it makes sense to the mind. The ego needs control, and the soul threatens that control. Because the soul leads through surrender, not through calculation. The ego says, if I can't explain it, it's not real. The soul says, if you can feel it, that's enough. To live by the soul is to trust something invisible, something vast, something that cannot be measured. It's like sailing on an ocean without maps, guided only by the stars. But the moment you surrender, the stars begin to guide you in ways the mind could never plan. Because the soul leads through surrender, not through calculation. The ego says, if I can't explain it, it's not real. The soul says, if you can feel it, that's enough. To live by the soul is to trust something invisible, something vast, something that cannot be measured. It's like sailing on an ocean without maps, guided only by the stars. But the moment you surrender, the stars begin to guide you in ways the mind could never plan. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a man who has forgotten how to read. Once, he loved poetry. Words moved him, but over time, he forgot the alphabet, and now the books in his house mean nothing. He stares at the pages but sees only patterns of ink. Then one day, a single word begins to stir a faint memory. He sounds it out slowly, awkwardly, and something awakens in him, a recognition, a connection, a pulse of joy. That one word opens the door to the next and the next, until he begins to read again, not with the intellect, but with the heart. The soul is like that. You've forgotten its alphabet, but the memory is not lost. The first time you feel a quiet knowing, a deep resonance, it is the first word returning. And soon the whole language begins to flow again. To understand the language of the soul, you must listen with innocence. Don't analyze. Don't dissect. Don't demand meaning. Just be open, like a child watching rain fall for the first time. Feel its rhythm. Sense its presence. Let the experience wash through you without interference. The mind will always want to name it, but the moment you name something, you stop seeing it. Listening to the soul means stepping beyond the need to explain and simply allowing. The more innocent you're listening, the more clearly the voice speaks. So remember this. The soul's voice doesn't come through effort. It comes through openness. When you stop trying to understand and start to feel, understanding arises naturally. When you stop searching for signs and start living in awareness, signs begin to appear everywhere. Listening is not a doing, it's an undoing. It's the art of stepping back, of creating space, of allowing existence to speak through you instead of to you. But even when you begin to recognize this language, something in you will still resist. The ego will step in, pretending to help you interpret what you hear, trying to twist the message into what it wants. And in that translation, the meaning will be lost. Because the soul speaks in mystery and the ego demands certainty. They are two different frequencies, one soft like wind, the other hard like stone. And unless the stone begins to soften, the wind cannot be heard. When you start trusting the whispers, when you stop demanding proof, when you let yourself follow the faint pull of your own being, even when it doesn't make sense, that's when you begin to walk in alignment with the soul. And from that moment onward, your life begins to move with a new rhythm. You no longer live by effort, but by guidance. You no longer push life forward, life begins to carry you. When you start trusting this inner music, a great transformation happens. You stop living by effort and start living by guidance. Here's something most people completely overlook. Silence is not empty. It is not dead. It is alive, vibrating, overflowing with presence. The whole existence speaks in silence, but man has become deaf to it. The trees are whispering, the rivers are singing, the stars are humming their eternal songs, but only the one who has become silent can hear it. You see, the soul doesn't use words because truth cannot fit into them. Words are small cages, and the soul is vast, endless. To hear it, you must learn a different way of listening, a listening that doesn't belong to the ears, but to awareness itself. That listening begins only when the noise of thought subsides, even slightly, and a space opens inside you. That space is sacred, and in that space, your real hearing begins. Meditation is not a technique, it's a remembrance of this space. It's the act of returning home to yourself. When you sit silently, doing nothing, allowing your thoughts to pass like clouds, slowly the sky of your mind begins to clear. At first, there will be storms. The winds of your habits will resist stillness. Your restlessness will fight the peace that tries to bloom. You'll feel uncomfortable, as if you're missing something, as if you should be doing something. That discomfort is only withdrawal from noise. It is your mind's addiction showing itself. The addiction to movement, to sound, to control. But if you can stay with it, breathe through it, watch without judgment, a miracle begins. You begin to feel the presence beneath the noise. You begin to sense that silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of awareness. When silence arrives, it doesn't come as an achievement, it comes as a grace. You cannot make it happen. You can only create the conditions for it to appear. The way you can open your window but not command the breeze to enter. The breeze comes when the time is right. The silence comes when the noise has exhausted itself. So sit, wait, watch. Don't chase stillness, let stillness find you. Slowly, you begin to hear the pulse of life itself, the heartbeat of existence echoing within your own. You feel the same energy that moves the planets also moving in your breath. You realize that your being is not separate from the vastness around you. Listening becomes communion. You and existence are in dialogue, not through sound, but through presence. Imagine a musician who has been playing endlessly, thinking the beauty lies in the notes alone. He plays faster, louder, more complex, believing that mastery comes through constant action. But one day, his fingers stop, the music halts, and in that sudden stillness, he hears something he's never heard before, the silence between the notes, the music behind the music. He realizes that it was always there, but his playing had drowned it. This is exactly what happens when you stop chasing thoughts. In the silence between them, you hear the real song, the song of your soul. Now, let me tell you something beautiful. When silence becomes your natural state, the voice of your soul is no longer a rare visitor. It becomes your constant companion. It speaks in every breath, in every glance, in every heartbeat. You begin to move differently, more slowly, more consciously. You begin to speak less, but your words carry weight because they rise from silence, not from reaction. Even your presence changes. People feel peace around you without knowing why. The silence within you becomes contagious. You don't preach, you don't teach, you simply are, and that is enough. But remember, most people enter silence with a motive. They meditate to get something, to find peace, to fix their mind, to escape suffering. This very motive becomes the obstacle. The soul cannot be bribed. True listening happens when you drop every intention, every demand, every expectation. You cannot listen and desire at the same time. Listening means total openness, a vulnerability, a surrender. The moment you want something from the silence, you've already polluted it with noise. Listen not to get something, listen because listening itself is sacred. A flower doesn't bloom because you watch it or command it to open. It blooms when the right conditions are met: sunlight, water, patience. The same is true for the voice of your soul. It blooms when you stop interfering. It opens when you are not watching. It speaks when you are no longer demanding. That is the mystery. The less you try to hear it, the more clearly it speaks. So when you sit in silence, don't sit like a beggar waiting for a gift. Sit like a lover waiting for the beloved, not impatiently, but in joyful anticipation, knowing that the beloved will come when the heart is ready. Sit as if you are already full, not empty. Listen not for something specific, but for the simple beauty of being. Let the silence wash over you like rain falling on thirsty earth, and when it does, the soul will begin to sing, not as a voice in your head, but as a vibration throughout your being. And once you begin to hear, even faintly, don't analyze it. Don't say, was that real? Was that imagination? That doubt is the mind creeping back in. Just trust the feeling, trust the warmth, trust the peace. The soul speaks in ways the mind cannot verify, but the heart instantly knows. It doesn't convince, it comforts. It doesn't explain, it enfolds you in clarity. In this listening, you discover the deepest truth, that you were never disconnected. The soul was speaking all along. It was not waiting to speak. It was waiting for you to become quiet enough to notice. And when you hear it, your life becomes a dance. Every step, every breath, every pause becomes music perfectly in tune with existence. And as you learn to listen in this way, as silence deepens and awareness expands, you begin to hear something greater than your own soul. You begin to hear the heartbeat of the whole. You realize that the voice within and the voice of existence are not two. You were never just listening, you were being listened to by life itself. When you have begun to listen, truly listen, when silence has become not an occasional visitor but a natural rhythm in your being, something incredible begins to happen. You stop living by effort and you start living by guidance. Your life, which was once filled with constant pushing and pulling, suddenly finds its own flow. You no longer move through existence trying to make things happen. You simply move in harmony with what is already happening. This is the shift from living through the mind to living through the soul. The mind calculates, the soul trusts. The mind strategizes, the soul knows. The mind reacts to life, the soul dances with it. When you live from that inner voice, every step becomes light, every choice becomes clear, and every moment feels